Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for July 5th, 2026. We've got Sunday campaign features. Broker has chameleonized, which doesn't really do anything except make it more confusing because Broker can already give you both cards and draw. Cards and coins. You just have to pick the opposite one. And then each player starts with a stronghold, a goat, a tiara, 4 copper, and 3 estates. So we have estates replaced with stronghold, goat, tiara. Okay. Just to double check on this, plus coins instead of plus cards and vice versa. Yeah, so you just have to pick the one that you don't, whichever of the two you want, you have to pick the opposite one. But it doesn't actually change how the card functions. It's pretty silly. Anyway, so let's see what else we've got going on in this kingdom. Did I do this? I think I did. No, I didn't scroll all the way down, that's for sure. So for trashing, we've got that starting goat, which is actually just the normal starting goat from Pixie. It's not really a campaign feature, but I guess as long as they're doing something else to your starting deck, then they're just going to list out the whole thing. So for trashing, yeah, we've got the goat, we've got broker, we've got kintsugi. There's also prize goat in the loot pile. For actions, wealthy village, fortress, broker, Band of Nomads can give you plus actions. For for draw, we've got Broker, Artist. Patrician can draw a bit. Band of Nomads can also add draw and actions. I didn't mention that, but I don't really expect Band of Nomads to be all like too relevant. It's the liaison is broker, and I think broker for cards looks a lot more relevant than that other stuff, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, and then for gains, Tiara has plus buy, Sack of Loot has plus buy. It gives you loot that has plus buy. Yeah, I also didn't mention, like, obviously Pixie Boons can also give you some of these things, yada yada. Okay, so I think this is a pretty bad opening hand. It's the Baker token kind of saves it. Like, well, I mean, I guess it's harder to say what the worst would be because there's a lot of different combinations. But like, we don't see the goat. We don't see enough money to like cleanly top deck a particularly useful card. We don't see the stronghold, which would either give us a bunch of money or could let us immediately trigger a shuffle if we otherwise had that money anyway. If we had Tiara and the goat together, we could trash 2 cards. Like, yeah, not a great starting hand, but we still have the opportunity to top deck something here, or like 2 pixies. One, like maybe a broker. It could be another Tiara and then Tiara the goat. One estate down there and 2 coppers, as well as the stronghold and the goat. It is possible that if we top deck Tiara, we will bottom deck goat, which would be pretty unfortunate. But if we did get to Tiara the goat, that would be pretty good. Okay, well, I mean, certainly we're doing that much. brokering or top decking a broker. I do think we're going to want to play with broker here. Broker looks like actually the best. Well, broker or artist are the best draw. You can broker fortresses, which is really nice. I'm not sure. Artist, there's not like a ton of straightforward support for artists, so I do kind of think broker will just beat it out there, but like I don't really see artists doing better than drawing 4 cards. I mean, broker is doing it terminally, granted, but there's a lot of plus actions. Okay, so what happens if we do bottom deck the goat? Then we see, by top decking a tiara, then we see tiara, copper, copper, estate, stronghold. So I'll have tiara, copper, copper again. But then we could also take another 3 coins from stronghold if we want to top deck whatever. But what is that whatever? In that case, I'm not sure. Really, I just do want to be tiaraing the goat. Well, there's a 4 and 5 chance that we get to do that. And the question of what to buy is going to be roughly the same anyway. All right, let's just do this. Okay, we do get to tiara the goat. Cool. I gets to do it turn 1. Rude. Okay, so we can either have 2 money or 5 money. We can't double trash and get a wealthy village. That's probably fine. I think drawing a whole bunch of cards with this stronghold and then taking a pixie looks pretty good. Flames gift, really? Huh. Okay. Okay, well, we could go ahead for a wealthy village. It comes with the loot. Could get a sack of loot. Or we could try to get a bit of deck control first. Excuse me. The sack of loot, we can tiara. That is pretty nice. I think I'm going to get the sack of loot. No, I don't think we need that. And now... So we're gonna want fortress, we're gonna want broker. Next turn, we don't really have too much for the broker to do next turn. So I think we take fortress first. And then next turn, maybe we can get another fortress and a broker or something. Fun fact, this board has Platinum and Colony. Definitely did not register that. I don't think I need that. We could Kintsugi this fortress to save a little bit of money on getting whatever. That seems nice. So we're going to have 4 money, but we could finally spend our Nomad's token to draw one of these loots. So we'll have more. Oh, that can potentially trash our regular goat. It's not bad. Alright, I guess Kintsugi doesn't really save us any money in a relevant way. I think we just do Fortress, top deck, Broker, top deck. We could take an Artist. We should be generating a lot of money coming up pretty shortly here. Like, now that we've got we can tiara the loots. The problem is it's going to be hard to draw very many cards with the Artist right now. Next turn, if we put the Stronghold into play in Duration again, that'll be another thing. But this turn, you know, if we go like Fortress Artist, that's a pretty expensive lab. What we really want to see is the other Fortress, and we play Fortress, and then we Broker Fortress for draw. And if that happens, we don't really need the Artist anyway. So yeah, I think I'm gonna skip the Artist for now. Aha! The bot just like buying platinum, not getting draw? Okay. Oh, I forgot. Ugh. Bottom deck the Pixie. Alright, whatever. We don't like need the duration draw if we can find like a Broker Fortress stuff, but it obviously helps. I mean, I guess it depends on, like, if we can top deck 2 more fortresses, then how much money are we gonna have? Do we want to tiara the sack of loot? If we do double trash, like just to clean out the goat and the copper, then we have, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 coins, which would be just not quite enough for Broker double Fortress. Oh, but it would be if we take 3 coins from the Stronghold. Okay, well, let's just do that then. Okay, so Fortress, Fortress, Broker. Do we want Pixie or do we want Patrician? Looks pretty good at this point, I will say. I think I'll take a Patrician. And now do we want Artist? So now we can, Artist will draw at least 3, right? We start with Patrician, Fortress. Actually, we start with Patrician, Fortress, Broker. Artist does draw a lot. at this point. I just don't know if we need it to. But then again, if we don't, we can always broker Fortress for money, or even for favors to draw into loots that we gain off of Tiara. So that's not bad. Yeah, okay. I think it's worth it now. We've also got the Pixie down there to increase the artist draw. Ah! We probably don't need that. Yep, okay. We can hold the other fortresses in hand for Kintsugi. I guess we can't play the Stronghold and Broker without playing one of them. That's not really a big deal, though. Just need that staff. Okay. Yeah, let's play one fortress. Play this for coins. I think I will take favors here. Wonder if we should get more tiaras. Well, we got a staff. I was just talking about that, I think. I think I said it and didn't just think it. I guess we might as well puzzle box. Maybe puzzle boxing fortresses is better than doing Kintsugi stuff? It's pretty helpful. Yeah, alright. There's no way we do this for next turn, right? Like, we're... Okay, so... 4 total fortresses. Brokers and the artist. We know we're going to have 2 fortresses on top. Surely we top deck at least one broker. Well, you could do a cool thing with Crypt here if that was relevant. I don't think it is relevant, but you could buy a Crypt and draw that with Band of Nomads, and then like set aside all your treasures immediately. Like, I don't think that makes any sense, but it it would be cool. So yeah, another Tiara. I mean, I guess Tiara isn't really much better than just getting more loot off of Sack of Loot. In fact, we could get another Sack of Loot. We would have legit saved 3 coins if we Kintsugi'd Fortress and a Sack of Loot, admittedly. But yeah, like double Tiara. We could, with one broker for Nomad's play, we could draw 4 loot per turn, like that we Tiara. Should we hold? I mean, maybe we should just. Sure, I'll trash that. Okay. Wait, why? Is this a different amount of money? I don't know why it would be, but... Did I next turn the Amphora? That's why. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Oh, wait. We haven't gained a gold. We can't Kintsugi anything. Ah! Dang it. Okay. Back up again. I don't think it's worth getting a gold just to then be able to do that. Just wait until we get double moons. Okay, so broker on top. We could add some more uniques for artist purposes. So that'd be Baker, Wealthy Village. I did want to get another sack of loot though. And is it at 7? The math just doesn't quite work out on like cleanly adding like a baker or wealthy village and whatever else. And I also do want to make sure that I draw. So I think just another broker and another fortress, honestly. We could take another artist, but I think I'm just going to stick with the one. That should be sufficient in conjunction with all the broker stuff. And obviously, it would be nice to be able to, like, be top decking the artist, but it's expensive for what it offers relative to what we can do otherwise. Well, the artist is down there. It'd be nice to not draw that. Stronghold is down there. And then probably some loot. Not sure which one. Get the puzzle box. The staff. Got the amphora. We've got the puzzle box. Sextant. Orb. Prize goat. The other card that's down there. Is it just another fortress? No. Is it another broker? Yes. Okay. I mean, I would like to draw the... The thing is, I want to draw to the end of the deck anyway, I guess. Because I want to be able to do the nomads thing. So I guess that's so annoying. Uh, all right. At this point, Stronghold is probably more valuable as duration draw than as money. All right. I wanted to like puzzle box. I guess I can puzzle box the artist. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Okay. So we'll do this, and we'll take favors. I'll do this, and take cards. The reason we want to play the fortress is so that we can nomads into all the loot. Tiara, loot, draw that, draw that. That's a good one. Draw that. With the extra 2 favors, we also could have drawn both gold and doubloons if we'd gotten that. It just occurs to me. That wasn't, like, planned or anything, but... Alright, I guess we didn't double play the puzzle box anyway, so... We were only going to get to set aside 1 card anyway, so it's all fine. Alright. We conceivably want to orb... Oh, I forgot about the staff. I guess it didn't matter, but... Do that. I don't think there's any way we're gonna get to like a win this turn. We can empty estates, but there's just not other piles that are low enough. We could gain a little bit of money by like hammering for a broker and then brokering for a loot for cards. But that doesn't actually like we're also buy limited. We'd need 8, 19 gains. We don't have that. Well, we do have 2 favors. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Wait, do we have exactly enough gains? Okay. 26 and 12 is 38. That's 20 and 20 after hammering, yeah. Yeah, I don't think... What we could have maybe done is brokered the insignia, because that isn't giving a gain. But it still wouldn't be... I mean, we'd still be pretty far short on the money. Okay. Not to worry. We can really set up... Oh, no, never mind. No, we can't. What am I talking about? I was going to say we can really set up our next turn here. I mean, that's true anyway, because of all the top decking. I was thinking about Sextant, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So, yeah, we're definitely going to want another broker. Top decked. What do we set aside? Artist. Right. Okay, Fortress. Top deck. We get one more of each. We should probably take a colony for some insurance. We've got the artist set aside, so we could take some stuff to power up the artist. Like a baker. Wealthy village. Baker, wealthy village, patrician, pixie. Could be. What are we going to want to do with that? I don't know. Top decking it definitely has some merit. I think I won't. Okay. Those artists. Yeah, bot takes a colony. Okay. I kind of figured it might, and now we can still win on estates. Maybe that would have been true anyway. Whatever. That. Jules gets in the way. Classic. Alright, Patrician. Baker. Wealthy village. Fortress. Broker, fortress for coins. Pixie. Oh. Yeah, I. It does cut into the artist draw, but I mean, it helps us empty piles too, so. Let's see. Take just a fortress and a broker, I guess. Keep it simple. Oh, I guess we might as well spend the favors as well. Okay. Yeah, we didn't find our other pixie. That's fine. Artist drawing 7 is pretty good. Yeah. I mean, there's not much downside to taking that at this point. The reason not to take it would be if we thought that it would block us from gaining and playing with the whatever, I can't Band of Nomads stuff, but I don't think it will. Oh god, this is getting annoying. Okay. 6 cards left. Certainly gonna broker a fortress for coins. That last card is... We redrew the tiaras. We redrew the silvers. We just drew the fortress. That last card is another broker. So probably we spell scroll for fortress, and then we have that. Yeah. Okay. So take favors. Take cards. 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 We can, like, if we gain more favors, we can gain brokers and then, or at least one broker with the hammer, and then draw it and then staff it to trash the fortress again. Probably completely unnecessary. But the extra favors, like, it's otherwise, like, equivalent to just trashing for money or for cards, whatever, now. But the extra favors would mean that we can also draw into, like, doubloons or whatever, like I was talking about earlier. So I think that's slightly better. Okay, so hammer for broker. Draw that. Staff. Broker. For cards. Tiara, tiara, sack of loot. Oh. Well, okay, this makes playing the tiaras on the sack of loots look not so good. I hadn't considered the fact that that was actually reasonably likely to happen. Wow, we never gained a doubloons. I mean, the bot did get one, so it was relatively less likely. How much there's... Is this 7 or... Oh no, there's 13 loot left in the pile. So there's still a fair... Yeah, it's still not terribly... Well, I don't know how likely it was. I mean, you're gaining 4 loots at once, so the odds of getting one that there's only one left of are still, like, decent. But anyway, no shields gained, but that's, like, the only one. All right. We can also... No, we can't. Never mind. I was going to say, if we had a way to gain another broker before played the orb, then we could also orb a broker, and that would be one more. Maybe there was a way to manipulate the shuffle so that we left a broker in the discard for that. It would cost us a gain. I don't know if that's relevant. I assume it isn't. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun. And puzzle box. Oh, we're so close to emptying on colonies. If only we had Kintsugi active, we could do it. We're also so close to emptying on provinces. Damn it! Oh. Oh man. I wonder. I mean, what if we did just buy a gold? That's still gold Kintsugi. That's still, does that get us there? That saves us 2 money over buying colony, and we're 4 short. Frig. And we can't like. Wait, but we have more nomads tokens. We can Kintsugi colonies multiple times. Okay, that's cool. So we buy a gold. And we do want to draw it. And then we buy Kintsugi colony to colony. We draw that. And then we buy Kintsugi colony to colony. And then we could draw it. It doesn't really matter. Colony, 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 colony. Kintsugi the gold into a province. Kintsugi the fortress into a duchy. Well, I forgot we had a coffer. That didn't really change anything. There was nothing we were like 1 short of. We were 2 short of emptying on provinces. If we had emptied on provinces, we would have had fewer points. So this was better, even though we trashed 2 colonies. 6 colonies is still worth more than 8 provinces. Plus we got a province and a duchy anyway. Whereas with the provinces, I don't know, maybe we would have been able to do something like that, but we'll wait. We trashed a colony, but the bot had a colony too. So we only net gained colony to colony, druid, colony to colony, then we gained 4 colonies. That is worth less than the provinces, but we did then get a province and a duchy. But why do we have 61? 48, 51, and then we have stronghold. How? It must have. Oh no, we have 5 colonies. Right, there were 6. There were 6 colonies left. We turned a colony into a colony. Then there were 5 colonies left. Then we turned a colony into a colony where there were 4 colonies left, but we still had 1 colony. Okay, yeah. Okay. So am I actually sure that we got more points this way? Because if we had retained the colony and then added 8 provinces without having to Kintsugi any of them, that would be 48, that would be 58, that'd be 60 points if we didn't get any duchies. Which I don't know if we would have or not. I mean, emptying colonies is cooler, so maybe it doesn't matter. But let's see. We had 62 money. I guess the problem is like we buy a gold, we draw it, we Kintsugi it. That all costs more than one province. So how would we have gotten all the provinces anyway? We were only actually 1 coin short on the provinces because I forgot about the coffer. But regardless, I don't think there was any way to empty the provinces without also milling, which would have meant that, yeah, we definitely had fewer points that way. Okay. Okay, I am satisfied then. I'm using that, like, yeah, I lowered these piles specifically with the intent to empty them, and then didn't turn out to be relevant. It might have also been better, given that we had one unused favor and we could have afforded effectively one more card worth of draw. It might have also been better to gain one more broker relative to fortress, like broker fortress for actions at some point. I never did do that because, like, obviously there's an opportunity cost doing that you lose out on, like, the coins or draw favors. But if I'm just taking fortresses for actions anyway, I mean, I wasn't, because I was planning to empty the pile, like, planning wise. But in terms of what ended up happening, effectively I took the fortresses for actions. And so brokering fortress, like, even if it was just like take 2 more brokers, have 1 broker take actions, and then the other one draw cards, that would have been more draw and action efficient than just like adding more fortresses. So that's it. We probably the point maximizing play would have been to add no more fortresses to the deck and just add the brokers. Let's see if I can actually figure this out. Means a broker. So here we gain another broker. And then where were we in the turn? We were playing the artist. Oh, the patrician hit last time. That's not going to be a fair comparison. Why did the patrician hit last time? I don't know. I must have just played a fortress in between. Okay, oh, that's fine. And then the pixie got the silvers, which... I guess we still want. I mean, it does cut into the draw, right? But all right. We definitely want to take some favors. Some favors. Spell Scroll is turning into another broker, which we can then do plus card on and take some cards, in quotes. What is that last card? I'm just gonna play this fortress, and then it's a broker. Okay. So we can staff that broker after drawing with our favors. So we can just go coins. Wait, what? No. Fuck. Cards, excuse me. Cards. Oh, I see the problem. We hammer, we draw the broker, but what are we gaining with the hammer? I mean, it could just be like an estate if we're otherwise... But we don't want to have to draw through an estate. Yeah, that's a little awkward. I guess we can choose to orb. Yeah, we don't need the gains, so we can choose to orb. Okay, that's fine. So we go like this, take cards, and then we hammer for broker, draw a card. We staff broker, trashing fortress. So I never did take the actions, by the way. And we take cards, and then we orb, broker, trashing fortress for cards. Are the sack of loots. Oh, I guess in theory we shouldn't actually be doing this, but I didn't know, so it's fine. Now, yeah, and now we have enough to just, gosh, no, empty the colonies and add an estate for good measure. And yeah, that was what, another 12 points. So yeah, not going for the pile out was actually better, but you know, I mean, obviously it's fine. It doesn't matter, but it was. I should have probably anticipated that. I mean, I think I didn't realize like quite how much more payload I would have this turn than the previous turn. It was a combination of like so like the 2 turns before I had good artist draw, but I didn't have nearly as much payload. The turn before I didn't have the artist draw because I bottom decked it. Then I puzzle boxed it. So artist drawing 7 effectively converted a bunch of stuff into payload. I had also added more brokers and fortresses in the meantime for more payload, obviously in addition to like all the Tiara sack of loot stuff. So yeah, like just, I mean, I don't know if I should have known that I had the payload to just straightforwardly empty the colonies, but I mean, it's not exactly surprising. Yeah. So overall, obviously a crazy kingdom, and most of it isn't even really because of the starting deck stuff. I mean, obviously, like starting with the Tiara that you can double play on the goat is, you know, that's a thing. But like the only thing that's really going on here that you couldn't do like is play the stronghold for duration draw. Stronghold for +3 coins is like, I mean, who cares? Obviously it can accelerate you early, but it doesn't put anything into your deck that you wouldn't otherwise be capable of doing. But the duration draw does. There's no other source of duration draw here except for Crypt, which is very different. But yeah, I mean the Tiara sack of loot stuff, the broker fortress stuff, the band of nomad stuff, that's all things that you could just do with the kingdom without any of the modifiers. So it's, yeah, it is like legitimately like a really powerful kingdom in its own right. Probably would take at least like an extra turn to get going, if not multiple turns, without the starting deck modification stuff. So it might be like 10 or 11 turns, but that's still pretty fast for like emptying the colonies. Anyway, as for the bots, it just didn't play with the most important cards on the board. I mean, I guess they're not the only most important cards on the board, but Broker Fortress stuff is like really, really, really good. And yeah, you got to play with that. So pretty straightforward to see why the bot deck wasn't doing too much. Also, I mean, Platinum obviously is more money than loot. But I also don't think it's like obviously worth. I think it's it's not obvious that it's not worth going for, but it seemed I lean in the direction that it's not. Like, the one thing you could potentially do, like if I had conveniently gotten a gold along the way, is like Kintsugi some loot into platinum and then draw it with Band of Nomads, and then like you tiara that, and that in the moment that it costs you basically 6 coins, like 3 for the Kintsugi, 3 for the loot that you're not playing, and then you draw it and you tiara it. Or you could say that you could have tiara'd the loot, of course, but either way, you get 5 coins back, and then obviously going forward you have like the more, the bigger number, but you do lose out on the gain count, which could be relevant for piles for sure. And like it's just like it feels like a lot of trouble to go to relative to just like add more draw with Worker Fortress and add more loot, like, which is just easier to put into your deck than the platinums. So anyway, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.